Now that your team has sort of gotten its feet wet with a couple games under your belt, what are some of your takeaways? What areas do you think your team has done well in, and what are some other areas that you think it can improve in?
Well, I think first of all, we'll start with improvement. Obviously, got to take better care of the ball and take better shots. I thought that we beat ourselves against Syracuse. We lost there. I think we left 59 offensive opportunities on the board with turnovers, a poor shot selection, and missed layups. So for us, we got to make sure that we're composed and we're really taking care of those opportunities. In terms of what we're doing well, I think we're doing a much better job of following the game plan and just being smart about personnel and just kind of focusing in as a group on each other's strengths and weaknesses and really kind of building that chemistry. And I think you'll see that continue to get better as the year goes on. But I think we're starting to learn how to play with each other. With 13 new players, that you knew that was going to take some time, but I think we're starting to get there. And I think the flow, of who's hot, when to get them the ball, where to get them the ball. Does John Cash have a good matchup down low? Is Tova hot from outside? And just really learning each other.
Canyon, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. At least from my perspective, it seems like you got off to some slow starts in your first 3 games there against some of the weaker opponents that you've played, and then against Syracuse, you came out of the gates firing on all cylinders. Do you think there's a slight issue of playing to the level of your opponents more so, or do you think it's just kind of how the game worked out?
No, I don't think so. I think all of it is just kind of how the starts come to be. We talked about having a better start off the gate, and I think they really bought into that. Obviously, versus Syracuse. I don't think it was necessarily a matter of playing down to the opponent because we treat everybody the same. And every game that we approach, we're playing like it's a Big Ten championship. I think it's just getting used to each other, playing with new people that you've never played with, and making sure that those jitters or that rust is off of the door. And I think against Syracuse that melted off, and we were hitting the ground running from the jump.
Justin, go ahead.
Hey, Carolyn, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, cool. Technology. What is the ideal role for Tova Sable? She was tremendous. She's led your team in scoring twice. How do you see her ideally fit within your scheme?
I think Tova has a potential to be a 3-level scorer for us. Yes, obviously she can stroke it from outside, but she's got the ability to attack the cup. We're working on her mid-range game. She's got great court vision, great IQ. So I think as the season progresses, you're going to see her minutes continue to increase and her role, continue to get more versatile. She had an ankle injury last week, which I think contributed to obviously her low minutes versus Rhode Island. But I think she's feeling more about 100% now. And obviously you saw that in Syracuse.
And with Janasia Cash, how does she defend without fouling? Because you are such a better team with her on the court, and you know that.
Yeah, I think she knows that as well. So she's working on her consistency, her composure, and she's such an aggressive, competitive player that I'd rather have to rein someone back than push them forward. So for her, obviously, we're watching a lot of film, a lot of decision making with her, and just knowing when to stay on your feet and wall up and be, vertical versus leaving your feet. And I think a lot of hers is just over aggressiveness, and I think that'll just be something that'll come in a lot of film sessions, and using her smarts and outsmarting people versus just out harding them.
And last one for me, do you plan on getting another game in with these 2 weeks off? I know it's obviously tough in a global pandemic.
Yep.
Because what's your thought on that, Carolyn?
Yeah, we're absolutely trying. We're working on some different scenarios here this week, but the plan is hopefully to have another one here before our first Big Ten game.
Okay.
All right, Alexis, go ahead.
Coach, I know the 5th was on Saturday and it was sort of your travel day and a game weekend, and I'm not sure how much attention you guys gave to this, but what was the team's plan of action for social justice for this month?
So we made the I don't know if you saw the pregame video for in the arena. So before the national anthem, we made a video kind of highlighting what we're doing and what our steps our program is making, and we wanted to show that before games, and we thought that was really important. We had a lengthy discussion as a group of what we wanted to do in terms of warm-ups, in terms of national anthem, in terms of the message we wanted fans to know. And then I believe on the 5th, we posted that video on social media as well.
Okay, any other questions for Coach? Go ahead, Alexis.
Coach, I'm sure you realize that Syracuse actually jumped in the rankings after getting that win against you guys on Sunday. So do you believe that with the way the team played, even though it was a loss, that it really showed people, outside of the program, around the conference and in the NCAA, that Penn State is moving toward being a national contender again and maybe even cracking into the rankings this season?
Well, I think, for us, we're always worried about what our thought is as a team. Did we play the best game we could? What are the takeaways? What are the teaching moments? For us, we don't really get into the rankings per se. But I think it was a confidence boost for us in the instance, not that we won or lost that game, but, the things that we need to fix and take away from that game were what Penn State did wrong. I really believe that we beat ourselves that game when you talk about the opportunities missed, and obviously give a lot of credit to Syracuse and their experienced backcourt and obviously their size and Q as a coach. But for us, I rewatched the game last night and just watching it, it was a missed opportunity. And we can't hang our heads about it. We got to learn from it and understand that if we tweak or fix one or two things, we do have a top 25 win. And that's part of the growth of a program is, learning. And then the next time we play them, hopefully you do get that W.
And just to follow up with that, what specifically do you think are, your good teaching points, coming after this loss? You guys hung with them the whole time, and you said it was a confidence boost, but what did this game specifically, and even the Rhode Island game where it was really close the whole time, what good teaching points do you take away from those two games?
Yeah, first and foremost is how important composure is. I think we lost our heads there in the second quarter and against Syracuse and turned the ball over 10 times in one quarter. A lot of those were live ball turnovers that resulted in easy buckets for Syracuse. And, I don't even believe those turnovers were forced. I thought they were errant passes, and I thought we were trying to make the home run pass versus the easy play. So for us, if we fix even cut down 10 of those turnovers for Syracuse, I believe that was a W for us. And then, on the flip side against Rhode Island, we kept our composure at the end of the game, and they scored with 3.9 seconds left to go. And we regrouped at the timeout, and they showed what it means to keep a level head and to stay composed and to stay in the moment. And they resulted with a W from that.
Okay, Tanyan, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. As you said earlier, this team is obviously very young and still learning how to play together. So far this season, how's the team really come closer together? And have you seen just the players becoming more cohesive on the floor and just learning to play with each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I still think there's a lot of moments that we missed against Syracuse, knowing when to get Janasia the ball down low on an easy dump off, or knowing who the hot hand was. I mean, Tova went 5 for 7. She should have had way more shots than she did, and we should have looked for her more of the hot hand. And I think it's them just getting used to knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses, and that's going to come. And that's why you play non-conference games, right? So you can learn and you can adjust. And so when Big Ten comes, we're ready for those moments, and we're understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses better.
All right, anything else for Coach? We have time for one or two more if anyone has one. Go ahead, Alexis.
Coach, I want to ask you a question about Anna Camden and just her leadership. Even off the court, I don't know how much you've heard about this, but she's gone viral on an app called TikTok. And, she's posting all these funny things, but also she gets to the point of, inspiration and posting things kind of aimed towards younger female athletes and encouraging them to, get involved in athletics and just raising awareness for those sort of things. So I'm just curious, how much have you seen of that? And, what does that say about her leadership, off the court and that translating onto the court?
Yeah. I mean, Anna is a phenomenal young woman. She's very talented in many different ways, not just as a basketball player, not just as a student, but as a person, and has several different talents. And I think the best thing about Anna is she likes to share them, and she likes to make other people better. And she's the ideal culture driver of a program. You know, I couldn't ask for someone better to help rebuild the program with that's doing the right things on and off the floor and is all about, you know, making others better than they could be without her in their life. And, you know, she's an inspiration to a lot of people, including her teammates, including the staff. And, you know, it's a blessing to be around her every day, who's just someone who has that positive outlook on life, especially in 2020 with what's going on right now in our country, not only social, you know, justice wise, but the worldwide pandemic. She's just has such a great lens. And you know, we're lucky to have her here.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Coach, for your time. We'll see you
Absolutely.
soon.
Thanks, guys. Stay healthy. Hopefully we got another game here coming up.